That's why, you know what the #1 job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job.
Back jump, Lord, I cracked you up.
I'm saying Lauren introduced me to Puff.
Oh, got you.
I mean, I knew Puff, but it was more of a personal relationship after, you know, we was at Cassie's birthday.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like Nip came to me and said, I want you to mentor me, you know, I want to get into real estate, I want you to teach me all your, you know what I mean, like your business secrets, you know what I'm saying? I was like, whenever you got questions, pull up. And then on his last album, people do not know this. Somebody tried to jerk me, but I fixed it. I actually am one of the executive producers of Nipsey Hussle's last album.
Victory Lap.
Yeah, Victory Lap.
Katt Williams just dropped another bombshell, and it seems like he's far from finished exposing the madness happening in the industry. Whispering. Word on the street is that Katt has some inside info about the real connection between Diddy and Nipsey, and while no one knows how Diddy's trial will play out, one thing's for sure. Many of the wild theories floating around, including what really happened to Nipsey, might finally get answered. Thoughtful. Now the real question is, what kind of scheme was Diddy running that ended up pulling Nipsey in? And where does Katt fit into this entire story? Casual. If you've been keeping up, you've likely heard Lauren London's name come up in Diddy's federal case, and people are now wondering how she's involved and why she's caught in the middle. Dramatic pause. The twist is, Lauren reportedly knew about Diddy's shady behavior for years. Exasperated. Yep, she knew what he was doing and how he treated Cassie. Skeptical. There are also several unconfirmed rumors that Lauren was one of Diddy's girls, just like Young Miami. Incredulous. So with all that in mind, isn't it wild that she still chose to introduce Nipsey to Diddy?
Hook up with the biggest rapper at the time. Everything's great. By the way, isn't she? Lauren is the one that introduced Nip to Diddy. Diddy couldn't even get to Nip, even though he had ties in L.A. It was Lauren that brought Nip to him.
And it wasn't just Jaguar saying all this. Nope, even Nipsey himself confirmed it. Remember his appearance on The Breakfast Club? He straight up said, "Lauren's the one who introduced me to Puff."
I'm saying Lauren introduced me to Puff.
Oh, got you.
I mean, I knew Puff, but it was more of a personal relationship after, you know, we was at Cassie's birthday.
Out in the streets, a lot of Nipsey's fans believed that Lauren wasn't just a supportive, ride-or-die girlfriend in the background. Many felt she played a much deeper role in his life. Some even suggest she was placed there to keep Nipsey in line, acting as Diddy's eyes and ears, monitoring his moves to make sure he didn't stray too far off course. But it doesn't end there. The connection between Nipsey and Diddy ran even deeper. In one interview, Diddy openly said, "Nipsey wanted to learn from me, how I did my business, how I made my moves." Now pay close attention to that line, because we really need to talk about just how shady that sounds.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like Nip came to me and said, I want you to mentor me, you know, I want to get into real estate, I want you to teach me all your, you know what I mean, like your business secrets, you know what I'm saying? I was like, whenever you got questions, pull up. And then on his last album, people do not know this. Somebody tried to jerk me, but I fixed it. I actually am one of the executive producers of Nipsey Hussle's last album.
Victory Lap.
Yeah, Victory Lap.
Now fast forward to Nipsey's tragic death, and people are revisiting those connections. Questioning whether Diddy's influence did more harm than good, things get even messier with Katt Williams in the mix. He's not holding back, claiming that artists like Nipsey who worked with Diddy always ended up paying a heavier price. Just look at the track record. Cassie, Meek Mill, YK Osiris, French Montana, Craig Mack, Danity Kane. All of them have disturbing stories tied to Diddy. Folks are now calling out this so-called mentorship as seriously shady. And with old clips of Nipsey and Diddy resurfacing, the whispers that Diddy may have had more than just a business interest in Nipsey are growing louder by the day.
What y'all doing? Lauren! Cassandra! What are you doing? Want some blue dot?
In this footage, Diddy is seen licking his lips and zooming in on Nipsey like he's admiring him, while Nipsey appears completely unaware, just vibing innocently to the studio beats. Y'all remember when Katt said he turned down $50 million 4 different times just to keep his dignity? It really makes you wonder what kind of wild stuff was actually happening behind the scenes. And yeah, he claimed Diddy tried to drag him into it, but Katt shut it down immediately.
Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting the body. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did.
Even Terrence Howard shared a similar story. Diddy initially approached him for a professional relationship, but things quickly took a turn, and Terrence got out before it all went left.
Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And I'm sitting there, just looking at it, like waiting. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to f you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you notice to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers coming to make the approach, and you punch them in the mouth, threaten to knock their head off for talking to you like, or looking at you like you're a woman. You know, when you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room.
Now people are starting to connect the dots, alleging that Diddy might have made moves on Nipsey, and when Nipsey refused, things got tense. As for Lauren and Diddy, the streets have been buzzing. Old photos resurfaced showing Lauren and Diddy looking very cozy, and the wildest part is Nipsey is right there in the background, looking like a third wheel in his own relationship. After Nipsey passed, Lauren did an interview with Angie Martinez, and that's when things went from weird to downright strange. She said it was Diddy who helped her through the grief, which sounds innocent enough, right? But then she dropped a bombshell. Diddy told her, "Look, boo, you have shown everybody what it looks like to hold a man down and to love him. Now show them what it looks like when it all crumbles. That's your responsibility." Lauren casually mentioned that Diddy called her Boo, a nickname Nipsey used to call her. Why would Diddy be using such a personal nickname unless they shared another type of bond? And that, folks, raised red flags. Meanwhile, Nipsey was out here doing his own thing, moving independently away from Hollywood politics. But Lauren, she had ties and access, and after she brought him around Diddy, disaster struck. Former Bad Boy insider Gene Deal came out warning about the danger of making certain requests in the industry. He talked about how Nipsey once told him he wanted his music to have the same energy as Biggie's Life After Death album. Let that sink in for a second. Life After Death, the album that dropped right after Biggie got taken out.
Now, you taking a spiritual person who's asking for something. He said, I wanted that same feel as life after death. That same feel was that Biggie got and he went on to sell about 10 million albums or 10 million copies. I was saying, you gotta watch what you say to demons, because it just might come true.
According to Gene, that was Nipsey's biggest mistake because once Diddy got involved, it was game over. Nipsey started spending more time at Diddy's mansion than in the studio, and that's when everything changed. It seemed like Diddy's grip on him got tighter, and suddenly, Nipsey looked stressed, tired, acting like someone who just wasn't the same. Fans started to notice the shift. Maybe Diddy couldn't control Nipsey, a smart, independent, revolutionary voice from the streets who wasn't about to bend the knee to Hollywood. Some say Diddy was trying to get at Lauren on the low, thinking maybe after Nipsey was out of the picture, she'd be his next target. But let's keep it real. Diddy never treated the women he dated with the kind of love he claims to. He didn't treat Cassie like a queen, had her under his control, and we've all seen the stories of their relationship. Kim, the mother of his kids, passed after years of emotional trauma and mental stress, all allegedly due to Diddy's manipulative ways. So when people say Diddy was after Lauren thinking he'd put her on some pedestal, nah, this isn't about love. It's about control. Word is, Diddy's grief game is different. When Biggie died, Diddy made a Grammy-winning tribute and launched his solo career, straight up capitalizing off the pain. When Kim Porter passed, Diddy turned into the grieving single dad, the spiritual family man, even though we all know he was out here doing dirt. And when Nipsey passed, Diddy made sure to post about Lauren preaching healing and sliding into legacy vibes he never earned. Every time someone powerful dies, Diddy knows how to center himself in the tragedy. So here's the question. Was Diddy just trying to set himself up for another legacy moment? After Nipsey was taken out, rumors got folks saying he saw Nipsey as an easy target, a pawn to build his legacy on. But even then, someone had to open the door for that, and many are pointing fingers at Lauren. As for Katt Williams, he knew this long before the headlines, before the arrests, before the world caught on. He knew the Diddy trap was going to get busted. Not just the parties or the contracts, but the setup, the blackmail.
It's all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. All lies will be exposed. So if you and a man was in a corner doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing,
you will tell it.
I know so many things I shouldn't know. When I walk in a room, heads go down.
And trust, the internet has a lot to say. One user bluntly said Lauren was set up to be with Nipsey by Diddy. Remember, she thanked Puff during the funeral. It's all about connecting the dots and seeing if people are ready to accept it. Meanwhile, another user wrote that Diddy did what he did to Biggie. He got on the album and planned his death to keep the money and royalties. With all the talk about Diddy's violent tendencies and manipulation, fans are he game? And could wondering if Lauren will ever testify in court. Was she a victim of the situation, or was she part of T. Diddy have been behind what happened with Nip? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because trust me, this one is far from over. If you're here for raw truths and bold takes, hit that like, subscribe, and click on that next video popping up on your screen now.